Hey guys, a different kind of video today. I'll be doing some karaoke for you. I'm singing that Mulan song that plays over their training montage. Here we go.
No! We're not doing that. Let's talk about Gagaku music. Imagine the most beautiful, haunting sounds, a flamboyant stage, a dance that lifts your consciousness. Are you imagining it? Then you're experiencing it exactly like the peasant in Heian period Japan did. That is to say, they didn't. The elegant music was not for dirty peasants. It was for the eyes and ears of the Japanese court nobles. Welcome me back, everybody. I have taken Linfamy hostage once more to tell you about the glorious music of Gagaku. My name is Sean Renzo Head. I am a licensed Shakuhachi instructor, performer, and lecturer of Japanese aesthetics and music. Let's jump right in. Listen to this. Gagaku dates back over 1,200 years and is Japanese court music that is usually associated with the Heian period. The name Gagaku means elegant music, and it is a large ensemble with 20 or so wind, string, and percussion instruments. Like many things in Japan, it has its origins in 2,000-year-old music from China and Korea. In ancient times, the court musicians were expected to be accomplished Gagaku performers, which means being able to dance, sing, and perform all of the instruments. Nobles were expected to be familiar with an instrument if they wanted any hope of seeing a woman's inner sleeves. If you wanted to study Gagaku today as a professional, you would need to learn how to do every part of the Gagaku ensemble. Gagaku is divided into 4 types: kangen, instrumental music; bugaku, music and dance; kayo, songs and chanted poetry; and kagura, the ceremonial music. Though it seems to be more of a Western-style orchestra, seeing that it has a string, wind, and rhythm sections, Gagaku music places its emphasis on the winds. In addition, every note in Gagaku is significant. A single tone can present a color, season, or a smell, or a deeply complex aesthetic characteristic. So what does a performance look and sound like? Well, Gagaku is slow. I mean slow. No, seriously, really slow. But enormously refined music. Before it plays a note, the sheer look of Gagaku ensemble grabs your attention. The musicians sit cross-legged in their red and green silk robes. The instruments are as follows: gongs, kakko, taiko, sonokoto, biwa, ryuteki, hichiriki, sho. And I gotta say, guys, I'm still really salty about this. Shakuhachi used to be in the Gagaku ensemble, and they dropped it. I think that we should make a letter and send it to the imperial court. Let them know that Shakuhachi should be back in the orchestra. What do you guys think? Leave a comment below. Many works begin with a bamboo flute solo. The solo is very nuanced and is later joined by encapsulating chords by the rest of the ensemble, which lock you into a fixated stare and your ears filled with tonalities never before heard. Truly. One of the instruments that really sticks out is the hichiriki, which has magical powers according to some stories. It's a type of oboe that has a straightforward sound. A lady-in-waiting from the 11th century, Sei Shonagon, had this to say about it: "The horrible sound of the hichiriki is like the noisy crickets of autumn." I guess she didn't play hichiriki in the ensemble. One of my favorite recordings of hichiriki is actually of a Gagaku musician playing Georgia on My Mind by Ray Charles. Another peculiar instrument is the sho, which provides the harmonic landscape for Gagaku. The chords are dense, and some may say thick with 3 C's. For me, this is the element that locks your ears in, but you'll have to just hear it for yourself. Let's move on to the layout. In the olden days, the orchestra was comprised of 2 sections. The right section, which dressed in green, blue, and yellow and played Korean music, and the left, being dressed in red and played Chinese, Indian, and Japanese music. Therefore, Gagaku is made up of 3 bodies of musical pieces: Togaku, said to be the style of Chinese Tang Dynasty; Komagaku, to have been transmitted from the Korean Peninsula; and music of Japan, or music of the Shinto religion. Also included in Gagaku are a small number of regional Japanese folk songs called saibara. Some experts say that saibara was written by Japanese horse breeders, and the nobles then cityfied them once they heard the tunes, and others say it was brought outside of Japan, but that's an argument for another day. An extensive collection of musical styles was transmitted to Japan from the Asian continent during the Nara period, 710 to 794. As a side note, Gagaku was performed as often as the nobles could. There were informal jam sessions and formal meetups for concerts, but there was no set number of events that would happen. The only real set days would be for kagura, the ceremonial music. The tradition still continues today, and there are many groups who practice the old styles, but there are Western composers like Stockhausen and Japanese composers like Takemitsu who have written for this ensemble. There are a lot of Gagaku musicians who see no limitations for their instruments and have expanded outward to pop, jazz, rock, and more. Also, like I mentioned last time in the Shakuhachi video, the video game Sekiro also uses Gagaku-inspired music, and in the location called Fountainhead Palace, they actually have a large taiko drum where the court music would be played. Also, the music has been featured in a lot of films. One of my personal favorites is Dreams by Akira Kurosawa in 1990, which is really a wicked film. The second Dream in the film has a large Gagaku ensemble and dance, which is absolutely captivating. It also features the Peach Boy, Momotaro. Long story short, Gagaku is awesome, and if you ever have a chance to see it, I couldn't recommend it more. The experience is overwhelming, and it will make an everlasting impression. Today, Gagaku is quite frequently played and can be heard and performed live even in the States. So do a quick Google search. I bet you can find a Gagaku orchestra. In Japan, there are events involving the imperial family, but don't ask me how to get a ticket.
Alright, I'm back. Oh, we're out of time for karaoke, so I'll just say to hear more from Sean, check out his YouTube channel and give him a sub. He has videos on shakuhachi lessons, interviews, and a bunch of musical topics. Alright, it's that time again, you bastards. Today's quiz question: what type of military troops did the emishi mainly use? You have 24 hours, then I'll randomly choose a winner from among the right answers. You get to choose one of these babies. Good luck. We have a new emperor this week, Francisco Javier Osandon. Thank you so much. And also thank you to the 2 new patrons, Amy Gould and Paul Rorbo. Alright, much love and spread the knowledge. We must be swift as a coursing river, with all the force of a great typhoon, with all the strength of a raging fire, mysterious as the dark side of the moon.